2 minutes left. Tucson with a set piece. Can they find a go-ahead goal and score 3 unanswered? Here's Vergen to send it in. It's headed away, couldn't get by the first man. Bermudez might come away with it, and he does! And there's nobody in goal! Greenville are going to score, and they're going to the playoffs! Greenville and Chris Bermudez! That's put Greenville through to the playoffs! For Danny Tenorio, who picked up an injury last week that will keep him out for the rest of this season. Nelson cutting in field. Back for Ricardo Pepe. Pepe going for goal! Ricardo Pepe! He's given North Texas the moment. And will it be enough to put them into the final? Ricardo Pepe, his first time in the lineup since August 27th, but back on the score sheet, his 10th goal on the season. And North Texas, they have the lead with 14 minutes to go. Demis, and there's the final whistle. North Texas Soccer Club, #1 in League One. USL League One champions in 2019. 10 seconds on the shot clock for the Hoosiers. To Benduyeni. Jalen Penn is open. She wants her 3, and she buries it! What a shot from Jalen Penn, and a timeout for Michigan State. Early cross in. Might fall here for Adam John, and it's in! The opening goal for Phoenix Rising. And it's Adam John who gets the goal, his 15th of the season. And could that be the one to push Phoenix over the line tonight? Now it's Kristen Press. Always dangerous on the ball. Press coming right down the middle this time. Nielsen able to get a foot to it. But Press will get it back. Plenty of open room now. Kristen Press for Utah, saved by Bledsoe. Press gets it back. Another shot saved by Bledsoe. Wow. Press still on it, dancing around. Kristen Press into the middle. Rodriguez a flick for Bledsoe again. The pressure on by Utah, but Bledsoe stands strong. So here we go. It is Andrew Laval onto the bike, and here is the bike race, and everybody is catching up. Visay still chest out in front now as Xavier Martinez takes the inside. Around turn 2. Into the backstretch. Cutters coming around the outside, trying to get around Xavier Martinez. It's his final race, and it is once again a sprint to the finish for the 69th Little 500. Cutters and Blackie Bulls, and it's a two-peat, a repeat for Cutters. They've done it again. So it's Arturo Rodriguez and Thomas Roberts to stand over this. It'll be an in-swinger from Rodriguez or an out-swinger from Roberts. Roberts runs away. Rodriguez sends it in towards that back post. There was nobody there. It took a bounce in the 6-yard box and then went straight out of play. Dangerous ball in there by Arturo Rodriguez. You can see why he leads the league in assists with 9. He has 7 goals as well. This one's headed forward for Danny Tenorio, one-on-one with Callum Montgomery. Tenorio cuts in field, his shot. It's deflected away by Montgomery. Well done by the North Texas center back. This one will go all the way out for the first Forward Madison corner kick. Look at this. Played all the way out of the back. Well done by Paolo Jr. to spring Danny Tenorio free. Just getting that left foot on it. That might have been the difference between 1-0 and where we stand still at 0-0. Right in front of the flock end. Here is J.C. Banks to swing it in. Towards the near post. Takes a bounce in the box. Still there, and it's in! The opening goal for Forward Madison in the 24th minute. It's 1-0 to the Mingos. failed clearance by North Texas. Connor Tobin gets on the end of it and gets a big goal for Forward Madison as they take the lead here in the 24th minute. And he went straight to the flock end, waiting to celebrate, and then he's right back to business with Josiel Nunez. Take another look at it. Good ball in by J.C. Banks. It was there, and it looked like maybe it was steered in by Danny Tenorio, but nonetheless, Tobin got a touch on it, and it looks like Tenorio will be credited with that goal, but definitely set up there by the captain, Connor Tobin. It's his second assist on the season, and for Tenorio, he's now scored in 2 straight, and that is 3 goals for Tenorio. So Forward Madison on the score sheet early. Darryl Shore said it to us this week. We feel like if we go up 1-0, we should have a good chance to win. We'll see now how things transpire in this final hour plus. Tenorio officially credited with that goal. All set up by Connor Tobin. As this one rolls out, it will be a throw-in for North Texas Soccer Club. One of the big questions coming into this game that Eric Quill asked his North Texas side was, do you want to play Forward Madison in the playoffs after you beat them or after you lose to them? Because as things stand now, this would be a preview of a playoff matchup. Obviously, nothing is solidified as of yet at that 4 spot, but if North Texas does play them, that was the question he asked his team, and it's always an interesting dynamic when an underdog would come to North Texas, as North Texas will host throughout the playoffs. But we'll have to see how things play out here in the rest of this match and the rest of the season, the final 2 weeks. Something to maybe keep in the back of your mind as this game continues. The whistle does come. There was a foul against North Texas. Put in play by Silvestre and sent straight out of play. Throw-in comes to Thomas Roberts. Paolo Jr. plays it into the middle. Here's now Don Smart. The foul will come by Edwin Cerrillo. Here's another look at that goal. Looked like Danny Tenorio definitely was the one to knock that in, and Connor Tobin going over to celebrate right away with the flock end. I'm sure for a Forward Madison perspective, doesn't really matter who ends up putting it in the back of the net. I think that early goal will help this Forward Madison side no matter what, though. So with the advantage at home, how will North Texas respond on the road now? It's quickly taken away by J.C. Banks. Nunez plays it ahead for Smart. He's going towards that back post for Paolo Jr. He couldn't direct it on frame. He's trying to track it down there with Brian Reynolds, but it's Reynolds to come away with it. And then it's taken away by Christian Diaz, who went to ground. Diaz towards the end line, cross for Carter Manley. His shot, it's saved by Zobek. A great reaction save by the North Texas goalkeeper. Nearly 2-0 to Forward Madison. Now JC Banks coming forward, and he's fouled by Cerrillo. That's his second one in just a matter of moments, and a yellow card issued to North Texas, number 33, Edwin Cerrillo. Well, a whole lot transpiring in that last sequence. Here's the opportunity from Carter Manley. Didn't take a touch to settle it, just went straight for goal, and then the foul by Cerrillo, pulling the left arm. Now a free kick opportunity for Forward Madison. It's a team that really likes to go through open play. We showed you that stat during the pregame, 23 assists through open play so far this season. It's tied for second in the league. But can they take advantage of this set piece opportunity? Tenorio, Nunez, and Banks all standing there. Here's Tenorio, he goes for goal, and he wasn't too far away. Just a little bit too high. Another look at it here. Tenorio's all the way. Couldn't quite bend it under that crossbar. There's the whistle underway here from Chuck Chansey Park. It's RGV and it's Fresno. Fresno coming off a 3-1 loss at Las Vegas, while RGV coming in off that 2-1 defeat at Sacramento on Sunday. A bit of a shorter week for RGV, but 2 straight games here in California for the Toros.
And 2 teams in totally different positions. Of course, for Fresno, they're battling to get into second, sitting in third at the moment, but with games in hand. It's been a wonderful season, especially if you ignore the last couple of games. Other than that, they've been absolutely brilliant, fantastic at home. For RGV, sitting 15th, they've got a big job if they're going to make these playoffs, and that job has to start with a win here tonight, otherwise their chances are very small. So 2 teams at sort of different ends of the table, but what we are guaranteed here is an exciting game tonight.
And early on, it is the man we featured in the pregame, Isidro Martinez, seeking some assistance, not even a minute into the match. It'll be a big loss for the attack of RGV. He cannot continue, and it would really shake things up for Gerson Echeverry right at the beginning of this match.
He did have a bit of a strapping on when we were focusing on him before the game. Let's have a look and see what happens.
Like he went up for that ball and came down, and he was hopping a little bit.
Well, there's a bit of a difficulty for Gerson Echeverry if he's going to make a change. You can see the strapping. Look at his left leg, the black strapping all the way down. Maybe you wonder if he wasn't carrying an injury already going into the match, although he's holding his back on this occasion. So if Echeverry does have to make a change, it's coming very, very early in the game.
Well, and that can really change the entire game plan for RGV tonight here on the road. We'll see if he can continue. He's getting worked on by the trainer right there at midfield as play gets back underway. Talked with Adam Smith this week about that Las Vegas match, that they went up 1-0, but then the goalkeeper error gave them some momentum. He just said it kind of happens with the Cochran mistake. He knows this team has to be stronger coming into this match tonight, and especially moving forward with Phoenix coming in here on Saturday.
Yeah, well, after that mistake by C.J. Cochran, who doesn't make too many mistakes, and then gave away a penalty. But he did tell us an interesting stat that in 60-odd matches since they started this franchise, they've only ever twice been beaten by more than 1 goal.
Just the wall into the box. The shot is blocked and it's cleared out of play.
And I'll give you both those games. 3-0 to Orange County, and the one last week, 3-1 to Las Vegas.
Here's tonight's injury report brought to you by Physio Motion. Vasiljevic and Moses are out for Fresno. Nothing to report for RGV. And when Adam Smith told us that stat, I was kind of blown away. I mean, that is remarkable what he has done here in just about 2 seasons now.
Yeah, they're very good defensively, Fresno, and yet no clean sheets for 10 games. And that, Adam said, really, really annoys him. He thinks it's important mentally and psychologically to tick off those clean sheets. So No doubt he would have said to his team in one form or another tonight, I want a clean sheet, I want a victory, I want us to get back on the winning trail, and I want us to get back into second position on that Western Conference table.
We'll see how it all plays out tonight. RGV, their second straight game here in California. They will head back home for Real Monarchs and Orange County the next 2 weeks. These last 5 games for RGV, just 1-3-1. They've come in with 3 straight losses at Austin, Tulsa at home, and then at Sacramento. It's been a tough little stretch for the Toros. They do have a free kick here.
Let's see what they can do with the free kick. Decent position. Kurimoto's having a discussion with the ref. And Isidro back on the pitch. But just outside that box, it's a dangerous position. 30 yards out, probably too far for a shot, but a decent ball in the box can cause problems. And let's see if Isidro Martinez can do some of his magic.
6 assists on the season. We featured him in the pregame, and he stands over this free kick now here in the 5th minute. He goes for goal, and it hits the wall. It's still there. It's small, and he sends it to Cochran with relative ease for the Fresno goalkeeper.
I just wonder from that position, trying to shoot, but there's a wall there. Why not get it into the box? All the big boys were up for RGV. It seems a wasted opportunity there. Isidro Martinez might have been better advised to whip the ball into the center of box and let his big boys fight it out.
I wonder how many opportunities RGV will have here tonight. Fresno, the dominant home side, headed down for Lawal, brings it onto his left foot, his shot, and it's in! An opening goal for Fresno and Kudus Lawal.
Great strike from Kudus Lawal, absolutely brilliant. What a good header down by Jaime Chavez. In the process, it's a long ball out of defense. Chavez climbs like an eagle, knocks it down to Lawal. He takes it wide and smacks it into the back of the net and sends all those fans into a delirious state. What a well-worked goal early on. Here's the long ball. Have a look at Chavez, gets up, heads it to Lawal. He knows exactly where he's going. Lawal turn and sticks it in the far corner, and they're 1 up already. Their great home form continues.
I thought that touch by Lawal was going to bring him a little bit too far away, but a wonderful job. Might have even gone in off the post there. The 8th goal of the season for Kudus Lawal. Fresno off and running here tonight against RGV. Smoke released from the fans as well, providing some atmosphere tonight. Quickly taken back by Kurimoto. It's Lawal again. Trying to tee it up on his right foot this time. And it's cleared away.
And Indiana trying to hold on against the number 15 Spartans here at home. Cook going right to the basket, and she lays it in, giving Michigan State the lead right back. And we've been talking about assists a lot with Michigan State today. Only 7 for the Spartans. They're one of the country's leaders in assists with nearly 22 per game, but today only 7.
Yeah, I mean, top 2 in the country, number 2, number 1 in the Big Ten. So obviously we know how important passing is right there. Passing very important on that bucket for Indiana.
Goulbe inside, and you can read into all the stats when this happens. A team is this record, but when Michigan State has more assists than their opponents, they are 11-0. So something to look at moving forward, and that's a block on Brenna Wise. The official pointed right to the circle underneath the basket.
Well, that's also a nod to Indiana's defensive ability, this afternoon, just really not letting them do much in terms of getting the ball and moving it and then getting those open shots off of assists.
I mean, you were talking about it, kind of closing those passing lanes. I think Indiana's done a decent job of that so far today as they find themselves up 1 with 9:04 left to play. Now, these two teams have had some classics here just in the past year.
Looks like it's shaping up to be another one.
Handoff for Clouden. He turned around and met 2 Hoosiers there, and she saves it from going out of bounds. A new shot clock for the Spartans. And we thought this was going to be a shootout, but both these teams barely reaching 50 points here in this fourth quarter.
Could be a first to 60 type of ball game.
A three-pointer from the wing, a big shot from Mardrika Cook.
Not really known for her shooting ability, but right there at a very needed time for the Spartans, she hits a deep three.
Just her second three-pointer on the season. Jalen Penn tries to answer back. It's missed and a jump ball. It will stay with Indiana.
Nice look for Jalen Penn, just could not get it to fall, but those are opportunities Indiana's going to continue to need to look for as we wind down in this ball game. As many open opportunities as they can get. We know they've done a great job inside, but see if they can get some opportunities where they don't have to force it at the rim every time.
Mardrika Cook checks out after that three. Wise gets her own miss and puts it right back. It's a good way to pad your rebounding total right there. Get your own miss and put it right back.
Get close to a double-double or something,
10 points now for Brenna Wise. Another deep shot from Michigan State comes up short. Here's Pat Berg. As we are knotted up at 52. Going right to Wise, and she's fouled going up.
That's what Brenna Wise needs to keep doing as this game heads to its conclusion. Right there, Michigan State finally doing something that they did in the first half, which is collapsing and double-teaming the person with the ball down in the paint. This time, though, worked out for Indiana, drawing the foul.
And Clouden now picks up her fourth personal foul. Something to monitor here as we move down this final 7:34 as Wise makes her first free throw.
That'll be possibly a very big story, like you said, as we head down. Nia Clouden, so reliable yet so young in terms of scoring.
Nobody else with more than 2 fouls for the Spartans. And she's staying in this game. She's been part of that 2-point guard look that Susie Merchant likes to use. Here's Jenna Allen. Going to work on Kim Royster off glass for 2.
There's just nothing you can really do about that one. Great job by Royster, staying in front of her, making her use her body, but at that time, Jenna Allen just too good.
And now we're just going back and forth, aren't we? Tied at 54. Down low to Yaney. Ooh, and I think Indiana might have wanted to use maybe the soccer term, using the advantage right there. But a foul before the catch.
Unfortunately, no advantages here in basketball. But would have been very nice to have it. Very near that possible overtime opportunity once again between the two sides.
Well, we keep mentioning it. It might just come true. Trying to get it to Kim Royster. She was trying to set a screen. There's the screen. Patberg inside. Muscles it up. The rebound to Jenna Allen. You can feel things kind of tensing up here at Assembly Hall. Both these teams don't want to lose this one. Such a big game in the Big Ten. Allen inside off glass for 2.
Got Royster jumping, and that little movement by Royster off of her gave her just enough space to lay it in.
Now up to 13 points for Allen, the reigning Big Ten Player of the Week. Here's Jalen Penn. Pulls up and gets it to fall. And a timeout called quickly there by Terry Morin. And that will now be a full timeout. So 5:56 to go. 56-56 here in Bloomington. We'll be right back here on BTN Plus. These two Big Ten teams have been going at it for a while in Iowa City and here in Bloomington. Obviously here at Bart Kaufman Field, not for too long. It was up at Sembauer Field.
up on Fee Lane, just around the corner. It's now a very nice intramural turf facility, but used to be the baseball and softball complex.
Yeah, Iowa not that far here. From here. I haven't been to their field. It feels like a more northern school to me and not one you immediately associate with baseball, but some good performances over the past years under their current coach.
As Logan Kalitha steps in, 8-9-1 for the Hoosiers. And Rick Heller in his 6th season. He has over 800 wins. He's been coaching college baseball for quite some time. Spent a lot of time in Iowa, at Upper Iowa, Northern Iowa, and now he's at the flagship school in the state of Iowa in Iowa City. Here for the Hawkeyes in his 6th season. This one, a 2-0 pitch deposited into left field, a base hit for Logan Kalitha, his 2nd of the ball game. And after that hit, that walk-off on Friday, he's found something with his bat again.
Absolutely. Great to see. Had a hit and some runs scored yesterday as well. Judkins continues to roll along, getting near 70 on his pitch count now.
He's only given up 4 hits, though. Just unfortunate for him that 2 of them have been home runs.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess if you're going to give up home runs, might as well be solo shots or 2-run shots.
Solo shots are better. He's trying to keep pitchers have to keep the team in the game, whether you're ahead or behind.
As Houston tries to bunt to start off his 2nd at-bat. Goes foul.
A few more umbrellas coming out now here in the crowd.
Umbrellas and ponchos. Still a pretty good crowd here as we reaching 12:40 here in the Eastern time zone.
Yesterday was kind of a cool crowd because a lot of people had been over at the basketball NIT game and then came over here after IU won that game. And so the parking lot was as full as I had ever seen it.
Yep.
Dual basketball, baseball game. So a lot of folks came here after the Hoosiers squeaked out a nice win. Was it Arkansas that we beat?
They beat Arkansas by 3.
Right.
It's a full day here at the IU Athletic Complex. As Houston lays down another bunt, this should move Kalitha up to 2nd. And that is the first out of the inning as Houston sacrifices, gets Kalitha into scoring position.
I believe you were watching the bike races yesterday.
Yeah, little 500 qualifications over Bill Armstrong Stadium.
So does that work like a regular car race? You got to qualify to get in and get your position on the pole and all that?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
It's a fun event over at Bill Armstrong Stadium.
Unique to IU.
And Kalitha looks like he is hurt over there at 2nd base. He was signaling over to the dugout that he can't go. The trainer's heading out, and he takes a seat. He does not look like he's in good shape.
Yeah, he moved over on the sacrifice, obviously, and I didn't notice him like pulling up with a hamstring or anything like that. They're looking at his left leg or
looks like
ankle,
his left
maybe?
ankle, yeah.
He's grimacing.
The trainer attending to Kalitha, and that is so unfortunate for Indiana. He just came back from a shoulder injury not too long ago. He has 2 hits here today, the walk-off hit the other day.
He's getting up now, but very gingerly. He's going to come out.
And he looks like he will come out of this game right with the trainer and Jeff Mercer by his side. Unfortunate for the senior. John A. Logan College transfer. We'll see who replaces him in center field.
Yeah, he may have twisted something on the run, or I didn't notice whether he slid in. I believe he did, so maybe something happened there.
So Judkins continues to warm up on the mound. Let's try to stay warm as Indiana will get a few moments to find a pinch runner. As Kalitha is forced out of this game here in the 5th.
Let's
We'll
take a look.
Another look and see what happened. I think it was right there.
Right at the end of the slide, he kind of popped up there.
Because on this wet surface, obviously, you're going to go a little bit farther, and I think he might have clipped something there.
Yeah, he slid farther than he expected.
So the pinch runner will be number 10, Justin Walker. I wonder how they will shift things around here, Jeff Mercer. So we're back to the top of the order for Matt Gorski. But Justin Walker, usually a middle infielder. See, I don't know if it'll be a straight swap exactly.
Not sure. You can see, you know, it's a slick as well out around second base there, that position where people slide in. So the moisture can't help that.
One's in the dirt. Walker, a good read, and he will slide in a second as he slides all the way past the bag. That's what that slick turf does.
I think these guys need to, calibrate that a little bit on their side. He went well past the bag too.
See what that is scored, whether it be a wild pitch, and that's exactly what it will be. So no runner on at third and one out. The Iowa defense playing in now. Trying to cut down the run at home. The 1-1. All it takes is a fly ball for Matt Gorski to get this run in.
Yeah, a productive hat would be all you're looking for here.
So far 0 for 2 today is Matt Gorski. He tried to bunt in his last at-bat. Big swing and a miss. It's now 2-2. And going back to that bunt from Jeremy Houston, just talking with Jeff Mercer throughout this season, he's not big on the sack bunt, but they decide to go with it in that situation. He's just trying to manufacture a run at the bottom of the order.
Well, I guess I've seen Houston, bunt before, so maybe it's different with Jeremy. It's one thing I've noticed is it's hard to get down a good bunt with these metal bats because the rebound is so pronounced off the bat. And in Houston's case, it was a successful sacrifice bunt, but it was, well out to almost all the way to the mound in that case.
They've taken some pop out of these bats, these metal bats. They used to be complete aluminum, but now BB Core standards, these BB Core bats now, a little bit different than they were, 5-10 years ago, but trying to make it a little bit safer when they use the metal bats.
Yeah, I mean, think of being the pitcher in the spot of some of those liners coming off the metal bats. He's probably in the most dangerous position.
And the 3-2 pitch misses away. Didn't really give him too much to hit in that at-bat with 2 empty bags. Now the double play is in order as Wheatrich and Bowe move back, but looks like the corners will stay in here as Drew Ashley steps in.
So Mercer doesn't like the sack bunt?
Not huge on the sack bunt, which is a little bit different than what Chris Lemonis had in the past few seasons here in Bloomington. He was big on the small ball.
Yeah. I think one of the great things about baseball is there's different ways you can play it, and we've seen different styles come and go with the way the batters currently emphasize the uppercut kind of swing, and for years it had been swing down on the ball, and what you find is baseball going through different styles, almost like an art form.
As Ashley steps in, there's ball 1.
So I think there is a way you can play the game where you don't emphasize the sacrifice bunt, and there's a way you can play it where you do. Certain managers were, give me a 3-run homer, and that's, my strategy.
And we will get a trip to the mound by the Iowa pitching coach.